I know where to draw the line. If I don't work, that means I won't have income to feed myself. So that means that I cannot even all the time go to see those musicians I want. I have to choose the ones that I want. In life, you'll find that you have to make those choices. But here you don't want. For some reason, you don't want. And then all of a sudden, after you complete here, the same boys who are aligned to you here, they'll be the ones who are running with the panga after their brothers. Because they were given a bigger piece of land. Or they think they're siding with their parents on inheritance. So you kill your brother. Why does it come? Because here you're not working hard. If I see you're walking around with a particular boy here who's not focused in school, basically that is where you're going. You're smoking something at the K.C.S.E area here down, or the kitchen on the other side, or the dorm. And someone is becoming a peddler here. Someone is becoming a peddler here. I can only tell you to make the right choices, because now here it's like you're in the university. You're given the choice to choose what is right and what is wrong. But for some reason, all of you cannot make choices on your own. You need your friend to tell you, can we go do this bad thing? You don't. Most of the people here are not assertive. They are moved by the crowd. And that is where we are going. Why is it that your friend has so much influence on you, doesn't even pay your school fees? Doesn't even, and he has a lot of influence on you. In that if he tells you, can you lie down there, I step on you, you'll do that. What does he have? Even the money that he has is not his, it's his parents. It doesn't work anywhere. We continue. So here we were talking about reasons why there is campaign for girl child education. Also, so that because both are equal before the eyes of God, boys and girls, so there is need to campaign for the girl child to get education. Also for the girl child to be empowered socially. And because most of the parents, or some of the parents, prefer educating boys more than girls. From there we go to the steps the church can take to solve the problem of street children. We have street children and it's in our syllabus. So as a church, how can we solve the problem of street children? Number one, we love them. We love and protect and care for children. Because most of the children are on the street because their parents are not caring for them. The other day I was listening to news and I didn't know how those children ended up there. Number one is because your parents, let's say you come from a poor background. You have like 7 children. You have a father and a mother. Then a father leaves and goes and finds another woman. You're left with your mother, right? And then you live in Nairobi. It depends where you live in Nairobi. For some reason, I didn't know there's a law that is passed that you're not supposed to do what? To do not hitchhiking. You're not supposed to idle walk. If you're walking, even during the day, you're walking and you're walking aimlessly and the police think that you're doing what? I don't know what it's called. You don't have a focus. They can just take you to where? They can take you to prison or they can take you to court. And then those cases are not solved. So in case your mother was working as a hawker and then the city council takes her in because she was walking on somewhere where she's not supposed to be, or she works in a bar, and then the bar doesn't have liquor license. You know, if you're selling a liquor in this Kenya, you're supposed to have a liquor license. Or she was employed somewhere, and then they did not have even a license to run the business, and then they're taken to what? They're taken in. They need to go for a hearing. Most of the people in the women's prison, or even the men's prison, is because their cases were not taken up. Or they even told, can you pay a fine of 5,000? And no one can give you 5,000. You see all the children, because the mother now is taken, you're told now you'll stay for how many years? 3 years. Or you pay 5,000. And they have no one or relatives to pay for them. What is going to happen to the other 6 children? And they are as young as you. Number one, you drop out of school. All your siblings, you have no direction. You'll have no direction because you don't have parents. That's why most of the children now, they end up on the what? On the street. That's why we have street children, most of them. So the church here provides basic needs for street children. The church has set up premises to take in. Premises whereby the street children can be taken to get education. There are very many actually, even in most of the towns they have. So if you see a street child, they're supposed to be taken there. Also, they teach parents to be responsible. You are parents. If you know you have 3 children, when you paid your salary, you're not supposed to go drinking the full amount. You have what? Children. You should be able to take care of them. Also, the church teaches that if you are a parent, it is your duty to take care of your what? Your child. It is your duty to take care of your child. Also, it encourages families to live in unity. And I don't know why you feel like because you have a disagreement with your parents at home, you have to leave home. Never ever do that. When I was young, it never even came across that there's a day that I can get out of the house. Even if your mother canes you or most of the time maybe abuses you and tells you, go, where are you going? Where are you going? That is your home. You can tell her, I'm going nowhere. I know I've done something wrong, but this is a what? Her home. Or you just go sit by your house, you wait for her to do what? To cool down. But what most of the students are doing, because I guess because of what they're taking in, because of the drugs, You have some disagreement with your parents because they don't know whether it's money you want or it's freedom that you want. And then all of a sudden you say, even I won't go to the school. You think that you going to school benefits your parents. You leave school, you go to the city, or you go to the nearest town to work. You'll find that the money that you think is there, the person who influenced. You know you cannot go to a town to work, or you cannot leave a school without a game plan. It's because there's someone who put it in your head. That is how I discovered. If I'm doing something today, it's because I have a clue of what I'm going to do next. If you're leaving your home to go out there, it's because there's a cousin of yours, a relative of yours, who lied to you that education is not what? Beneficial. If there's someone here who keeps on telling you education is not beneficial, there's a relative who told them that. It's someone. You cannot wake up like this. You are a child. You cannot wake up like this and think education is not important, yet your parents brought you to school. You think they're stupid. If it is not important, why did they bring you to school? I was telling the other class, you also brought to school so that you can develop your brain. Your brain is not developed fully now. You're still developing so that you can be able to make the decision. So now someone lies to you. You go to the town. You've disagreed with your parents. They paid school fees, and then you are 2 weeks in, and then you leave. Yet all the money was brought where? They'll be mad. When you go to the city, you have no one. You find that people are sleeping 10 in a room. You have to sleep there. You find it's not secure. Now you find the greener pasture that you are being told is not there. Where are you going to end up? On the what? Street with no job. That's how we have street children. Don't think there are people that you don't know. Oh, these ones don't have parents. That is how it starts, and it is because people are lying to you. We also continue. The church also encourages family to be faithful, so that they don't cause broken families. And if the breadwinner feels that the spouse is unfaithful, they are going to leave, and they live with all the what? The money. Then all the others end up on the street. So from there we go to sexually transmitted diseases. Yes, these are called STIs. And the common sexually transmitted diseases, we have gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV/AIDS. And those are the ones that I'm going to get into. We go to gonorrhea. Gonorrhea it's caused by a bacteria called gonococcus. Yes. And how do you know you have gonorrhea? I have to teach this because we've taken a few boys to the hospital when they cannot be able to do what? To stay in school. If you have gonorrhea or you have syphilis and you are here in school, you cannot even stay for 2 days. If you go to the matron and you say, I am sick, and maybe you are told, oh wait, I'll give you, and then you're given some medication, and then by 10, you see they are not changing, you won't even stay in this school. It is painful for a man. You cannot stay here. It's usually very uncomfortable for a man. So gonorrhea, how will you know that you have gonorrhea? That's why I'm teaching you so that you know. Because we keep on telling you, don't fornicate, don't fornicate. The guys are going to give you what? Gonorrhea. You're also told not to have sexual intercourse these days because treating some of the diseases here is very expensive. And you know now when you go to the hospital, the other number that we were using to treat you is not there. You have to be registered for C.R.E. Are you registered? No. Your parents had to do it. They did not. You know the other time we were using the NEMIS number, right? It's because the government did it. And when you admitted in school, all of you, we gave every time. Every principal there ensures that all of you have the NEMIS number so that in case you get a problem, you take it to the hospital. But now you cannot be done like that because C.R.E, it goes back to the parents so that you can see how your parents are. You kept on blaming people. Now you cannot. So now if you have gonorrhea, now your parents have to come in and take you. So how will you know you have gonorrhea? Symptoms of gonorrhea is you have a feeling of discomfort on your manhood, that is the penis. Then when you're passing your urine, you're feeling a lot of what? Pain. Then you find that your penis is smelly. Not it has a discharge that is smelly, a yellow one. And then you're feeling a headache. Not all headaches is just an headache. You have gonorrhea. Also another frequent urination. Frequent urination is gonorrhea. And then if you have like a fever, you're feeling cold. Yes. So what are the results? You can be sterile. Yes. You won't be able to bring forth children because sterility in both men and women. Also, if you give birth to a child, you have sexual intercourse and you have gonorrhea, the child will be blind. It causes blindness on newborn babies. Also, you have gonorrhea and you have sexual intercourse with your wife when she's pregnant, the child will have blindness. Also, on women, it causes ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy is whereby the pregnancy develops on the fallopian tube. It is fatal. Also, it causes arthritis of the bones, whereby, you see, sometimes arthritis is mostly on older people. You find they tell you they cannot be able to walk. There's on layman's language, arthritis is whereby on your bones, when you're learning bones in Form 4, you learn that there is some grease between the bones that causes the bones not to scratch each other. Yes, that's how I can explain on layman's. So as you get older and you don't eat elder food, if you are not healthy, the grease depletes. So the same way, because of gonorrhea, that nini also depletes the grease that is between bones. Therefore, you can be able to get what? Arthritis. When we come back, we'll talk about syphilis.